The Church of Satan Informational Pack 1.0 from a Theistic Satanist perspective. 1. Thesis, central argument of the book. The Church of Satan Informational Pack asserts that Satanism, as founded by Anton Sander LaVeyan and maintained by his successors, is a rational, atheistic philosophy of individualism, elitism, and personal empowerment. The book seeks to define Satanism not as devil worship, but as a symbolic framework for carnal human nature and meritocratic ethics grounded in social Darwinism. 2. Supporting arguments. A. Satan as a symbol, not a deity. The Church of Satan, CUS, insists Satan is not a real entity but a metaphor for nature, entropy, pride, and rebellion. The pack explains that Satanism rejects all supernaturalism, including God, spirits, and demons, and replaces them with symbolic theater, greater magic, and psychological manipulation, lesser magic. Satan is not a conscious entity to be worshipped, rather a reservoir of power inside each human to be tapped at will. B. Rational self-interest and stratification. The book upholds that social hierarchies are natural and desirable. Egalitarianism is denounced as a destructive myth. Elitism, self-responsibility, and judgment of others are central values. The pentagonal revisionism outlines policy goals like taxing churches, promoting eugenics, and ending welfare. C. Anti-Christian morality and lex talionis. LaVeyan Satanism inverts Christian morality, vengeance replaces forgiveness, indulgence replaces abstinence. The 11 satanic rules of the earth and 9 satanic statements form a code rejecting herd mentality and promoting responsibility to the responsible. D. Ritual as psychodrama, not communion. Ritual magic is framed as theatrical psychodrama intended to influence the subconscious, not as communion with spirits. The pack asserts that any belief in external forces, gods or devils, is anti-satanic superstition. E. A warning against theistic or pseudo-satanic groups. The Satanic Bunko sheet harshly critiques theistic Satanists, spiritualists, occultists, and groups with mystical views, labeling them frauds and parasites. Claims of spirit contact or divine revelation are compared to Christian delusions. 3. Methodology or perspective. The document takes a philosophical and socio-political approach, rooted in materialist atheism and influenced by thinkers like Nietzsche, social Darwinists, and Ayn Rand. It also uses psychological framing, especially in its discussion of magic as a tool of emotional catharsis and manipulation. There is little reliance on academic methods, rather, it relies on LaVeyan's The Satanic Bible as authoritative scripture. The pack functions as both propaganda and a guidebook for identity formation. 4. Critical analysis. Strengths. Offers a clear and consistent worldview, rooted in carnal human instincts. Makes Satanism accessible and structured for secular individuals disillusioned with traditional religion. Advocates individual empowerment, encouraging intellectual and aesthetic development. Weaknesses. Its rigid atheistic dogma alienates spiritual Satanists who do engage with Satan as a being. Emphasizes elitism and eugenics, echoing problematic ideologies without ethical nuance. Contains logical contradictions, it rejects religious dogma yet enforces a rigid anti-spiritual orthodoxy. The aggressive tone toward theistic Satanists mirrors sectarianism it claims to oppose. From a theistic perspective, the outright denial of spiritual realities, including Satan himself, reduces Satanism to performance art and social commentary, stripping it of true metaphysical substance. 5. Context. Published circa the late 1990s to early 2000s, the Informational Pack reflects Peter Gilmore's leadership after Anton LaVeyan's death in 1997. It seeks to assert the COS's authority amid the rise of independent satanic groups, especially theistic and spiritual ones proliferating online. It serves as a reactionary manifesto aimed at defending COS orthodoxy from perceived dilution by mystical Satanists, occultists, and satanic panic-era misinformation. 6. Implications. If widely accepted, the document promotes a secular, symbolic form of Satanism as the only valid expression. A future where spiritual, mystical, and theistic Satanists are delegitimized. A society organized by meritocratic and survivalist principles, potentially at odds with humanist or empathetic ethics. In contrast, its rejection of supernaturalism limits the spiritual evolution of Satanism as a path of actual initiation, communion, and divine self-realization. 7. Theistic Satanist perspective, my position. As a theistic Satanist, I disagree with the fundamental premise that Satan is merely a symbol or psychological projection. While I respect the Church of Satan's contribution to public discourse and Satanic philosophy, its denial of spiritual reality renders its system hollow for those of us who experience Satan as a real, autonomous force. The rejection of supernaturalism and hostility toward theistic views seems ironically dogmatic. Moreover, the COS's insistence on atheism dismisses millennia of esoteric tradition and modern lived experiences of Satanic theurgy, possession, and gnosis. That said, I agree with its emphasis on personal responsibility, ritual catharsis, and aesthetic refinement. Theistic Satanism, too, values empowerment, but does so through communion with Satan as an entity, not merely as metaphor. Blue Book Final Evaluation. The Church of Satan Informational Pack is a foundational text for LaVeyan Satanism, and vital for understanding the modern secular Satanic movement. Yet from a theistic lens, it is incomplete, reductionist, and lacks the spiritual depth that defines Satan as an indwelling and external power worthy of reverence. If Satanism is to evolve, future practice must embrace both the symbolic and spiritual dimensions, allowing for diversity of belief without condemnation or fear.